Are you ready to read?
We are ready.
Yes. So, shall we sing?
First, but first tell them to switch off their mobiles. Please. They wanted 8 seats. That's what they said. And I did 8 seats. Enough? Or you want more? Okay, Narayan.
She's so excited to be back home.
That is the Maharajah who got the in the exact spot. So we are Narayani.
Où est-ce que ça sied? Où est-ce que ça sied la princesse?
Elle aussi, elle va s'asseoir.
Oui, mon chef.
Entonces me pasé arriba.
I see somewhere that I don't need it. Should we only stand?
Ok, allez, ça sied.
Namaskaram. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Travancore royal family, members of the embassy from the French embassy in India, distinguished guests. We are about to begin a very august ceremony in a very august venue. This is the conferral of France's highest national distinction on a very eminent member of the Travancore royal family. Now, before we begin, may I request all of you to please. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure and privilege to announce the commencement of the conferral of the rank of Legion of Honor on Her Royal Highness Princess Gauri Parvathi Bayi. For this, may I now invite His Excellency Dr. Thirunal, Ambassador of France to India, and Princess Gauri Parvathi Bayi to come to the dais. Ambassador, I give the floor to you.
We remain standing, right?
Yes. So, Your Highness, distinguished guests, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, namaskaram, good evening, bonsoir, as we say in France. So, Your Highness, I'm delighted to be here with you tonight to confer on you the rank of Knight of the Legion of Honor, the highest French distinction established by Emperor Napoleon back in 1802 to recognize those whose remarkable actions serve French values. And I will speak about the echoes between your achievement and French values. First of all, I would like to thank the royal family of Travancore and the princess herself for their gracious welcome in this majestic setting of Levy Hall, an iconic venue that embodies the dialogue between cultures and the enduring friendship between France and India, a place where the French water Pierre Loti presented the manager of Travancore, actually this manager, with a medal back in 1899. So we are in a very historic place as far as the relation between Kerala and France is concerned. We have gathered here tonight to honor your commitment, Your Highness, to the French language and intercultural artistic exchanges, your efforts to promote our shared values, equality, inclusion, women's place in society, and of course, to celebrate your friendship with France. As I mentioned earlier, this distinction is particularly meaningful here in Living Hall, where an exemplary encounter between the artistic traditions of Kerala and France took place, not only in 1899 when Pierre Loti visited your ancestor, was keen to know more about Europe, but also in 2018, King Lear, in Kathakali version choreography by French artist Annette Lidey, a project supported by the French Institute in India and Alliance Française de Trivandrum, was organized here in this room. This show was a real tribute to the culture of Kerala, which extended to Paris at Théâtre de la Ville in Paris after a highly acclaimed tour across India, which could be hosted in Trivandrum thanks to your Royal Highness. This distinction is also especially significant in this remarkable year, as 2025 marks the 45th anniversary of Alliance Française de Trivandrum. Alliance Française is our cultural and linguistic institute center here in Trivandrum. This success and longevity are the result of the support of individuals such as yourself, Your Highness, who believed quite early in the power of dialogue between our two countries. Your commitment, if I may say, goes back a very long way. You were born into the illustrious royal family of Travancore, and from quite an early age, you grew up in an environment steeped in diplomacy, where exchanges with dignitaries from all over the world were part of everyday life. In the 50s, despite convention, you won a dance competition at school. You became the first woman in your family to perform on stage in front of an audience. The path was charted, both for your fight for women's rights and for the promotion of the arts. May I say that you was a very independent mind very early. Your story is one of values shared by France and of a conviction that we must act to promote equality and inclusion. Your grandmother, in a truly pioneering spirit, encouraged Brahmin widows to become nurses, strongly believing that women emancipation would come through education and financial independence. You have continued this commitment by promoting traditional knowledge passed down by women, especially in Ayurveda. You also like to highlight the vital role of mothers in the family, and as such, the imperative need for them to pursue education. Your own academic background is marked by scientific studies and long-standing and very much active ties with the Government College of the Women in this city. During your higher education, you were introduced to the French language. You started from scratch whereas your classmates had already been studying the language for several years. With determination, encouraged by your French teacher educated at the Sorbonne in Paris, you exceeded all expectations and became a French teacher. In turn, at the University of Kerala. This was another first. You were the first member of a Travancore royal family to hold the public teaching position. Ever since then, your ties with France have continued to grow stronger. Your attachment to France goes beyond language and art. It also extends to gastronomy, which resonates with us. I was told that you fondly recall memories and dinners from your childhood, and this amazing recipe your grandmother concocted inspired by the French culinary art. Cheese carved into the shape of a swan. Really? How amazing. Slowly melting into hot soup. What a delicacy. And even today, you say that French dishes are so beautiful that one hesitates to eat them because it feels as if you were about to destroy the work of art. So it is this aesthetic sense that appeals to you in France, as you especially appreciate French architecture and taste. So thank you for this appreciation. You are thoroughly familiar with France because you have been visiting every year since 1973 our country, quite every year. You have forged lasting friendship there in the Paris region and also in Alsace. One sees a common thread throughout your life's journey, a series of firsts, all bearing hope. First royal artist, first royal teacher, pioneer of dialogue between cultures, a life of conviction, courage, and openness. When you learn about your appointment to the Legion of Honor, you said that you thought this as a symbol of a meeting of East and West. You rightly pointed out that throughout the world, human beings share the same fundamental feelings: joy, sadness, anger, and hope. And you express your desire for a world where intercultural exchanges would lead to peace. We share this desire. And that's why, tonight, on behalf of the French Republic, we thank you. It is therefore with immense joy and respect and honor that this evening, by decision of the President of the French Republic, I will appoint you Knight of the Legion of Honor. So if you allow me, I will pronounce the usual ritual words in French to confer this very high distinction. Thank you.
Votre Altesse, au nom du Président de la République française, nous vous faisons chevalier de la Légion d'honneur.
Your Excellency, Ambassador Dr. Thierry Matou, Madame Matou, Pondicherry Consul General, Monsieur Etienne Roland Pierre, Monsieur Gregor Thirunal, Director of the French Institute in India, other dignitaries from the French Embassy, my family, and all of you dear friends here. Namaste, bonsoir, and thank you for being here to share this beautiful moment with me. Many years ago, when I was 19 years old, on our first ever trip to Paris, we stood like gawking tourists in front of the Elysee Palace and looked through the gates making clicking pictures. Those days there was no security. You could make pictures, you could stand there, no longer possible. I never dreamt that one day I would be receiving an honor from that very same presidential palace. May I request the ambassador to accept and convey to the President and the government of France my warm thanks and joy for this recognition. My family had ties with France for many decades, as the ambassador has already pointed out. Prince Alexander Saltykov, he was born a Russian, but he lived all his life in Paris and he was a true Parisian. He visited Travancore during the reign of Maharaja Swadhyadhana. That was between 1813 and 1846, the reign of Swadhyadhana. He came more than once to Travancore. And in 1855, Travancore government participated in the Paris Exposition. And it is recorded in the Patnaswamy temple records, called Madhulagam records, that our Kasamunda, that is our white cotton cloth with gold on it, was deeply appreciated in Paris. Of course, Pierre Loti, who recorded his travels with words and sketches, visited Trivandrum in 1899, 1900, and in this very hall, at this very same spot, he presented a medal from the French Academy to Maharaja Sri Pooyam Thirunal for his contribution to the field of education. I must also mention that this was done without the knowledge of the British. It had to be done rather secretly.
May I have this writer wrote a book very famous in France, which title is India Without the British.
Yes, but I didn't want to say that, but you said it. He also made drawings, some of which looked a bit strange to us, because he had the Malayali people dressed in sort of robes like Arabs. So I think he let his artistic talents, he sort of exaggerated a little bit. But that's okay. That all artists are like that. My grandmother and my mother traveled for the first time ever to Paris in 1932 and came back with ideas of presenting food with decorations and elegance, to have embroidery and laces to their clothes. Now you, as most of you sitting here are Malayalis, you must know, without my saying it, that you cannot decorate a sambar or an avial. It is not possible to, an aesthetic presentation of our Kerala cooking. But then, as the ambassador said, she had salads, plated salads, which were beautifully arranged. She had table decorations. She floated lotuses in water. She had glass, it looked like pieces of ice, but it was all glass and lighted from underneath. She did all these things because she was basically very artistic. And she appreciated the fact that a feast for the palate should also be a feast for the eyes. Those days, they would stay only in hotels which permitted their cook to use the hotel kitchen to make the vegetarian food. Their favorite hotel was George Sand, and my grandmother said that the cooks there and the sous chefs, they were fascinated by the mustard seeds popping. Of course, the smell of the mustard seeds popping made them all cough and their eyes tear, but they were so interested, they all wanted little tastes of our vegetarian food, and very soon the papadams and the vattals ran out because everybody had a little taste. We ourselves discovered the delights of things like asparagus, mushrooms, avocados, all these things we were not used to. So I remember asparagus was one of my favorite things, and that's what we still go back to the Alsace for. And we enjoy that very much. The delicate sauces that the French serve, and I have a sort of fiery palate myself. So I was very careful to conceal my little private vial of cayenne pepper in my handbag and not to let the staff in the restaurants, the waiters and the French chefs ever see it. So I was very careful about taking it out. My son discovered the world of European music and the French language through the Alliance Française. In this connection, I must particularly thank the Alliance, Margot, Narayani. They have all been helping me to organize this function here. We have not had very many European functions in this hall. I think in my memory, this is the first one, unless you count the Kathakali performance. That was also exactly here. We had the stage here, and it was very interesting because they did not know how to characterize, for instance, King Lear. Should King Lear be Katti, Pacha, Chomanadadi, Kartatadi? They didn't know that, the different. So finally they made him a green face. He was a goodie. Well, I do not want to make a long speech because the ambassador, he has had a very hard day and it is still not over and he is standing. But when I taught French in the university, I think I was more terrified than any of the girls when they went for their exams. Because if any of them failed, they would say this new woman came and messed up the whole thing. I am very honored that in this hall today, I have the principal of the college I taught in, I have my classmates, and I even have a student. They are all here today. And I am very, very relieved and honored to say that all my students passed their French exams. I think I must have prayed harder than any parent or student. So that I feel that any honor done to a Malayali is a recognition for all Malayalis, all over the world, wherever they live. And in all that humility, I received this medal as a symbolic continuation of the friendship and goodwill that exists between my family, my state, and my country with France. As India and France share dreams, hopes, joys, and sometimes sorrows, fears, and tensions, let us look forward to stronger ties between the two countries and peace and prosperity for both. We say in Sanskrit, a beautiful saying, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, which means let everything in creation be blessed, because we all come from the same power and we should coexist in happiness, goodwill, and friendship. Thank you, Ambassador, for coming all the way from Delhi to Trivandrum. I really appreciate that because all of us couldn't come to Delhi. It was not possible. So thank you once again for this lovely medal. Can I wear it?
Sure, sure.
Can I wear it for instance, when I land in Charles de Gaulle?
You should. Oh yes, if you wear it, no visa. You can go through, yes, absolutely.
I would love to do that. One day, land in Paris and sort of walk like that through the immigration and customs. Thank you once again and God bless you all.
Thank you.
Ambassador, Princess, please remain on the dais. I now have the pleasure of inviting Mrs. Cecile Matthew and Princesses Gauri and Prabha to give away souvenirs. Thank you very much for being such a wonderful audience. On behalf of Princess Gauri Parvathi Bayi, I'd like to invite all of you to partake of the buffet. Bonsoir. Have a nice evening. Thank you. Can you stay,
Gregor.